How's it going, people? Adam here with Only SP, and I'm going to give my first impressions of The Fall. This is available right now on Steam. It is developed and published by Over the Moon. The premise is fascinating. The design is intriguing. However, there are certain aspects of it that irk me. But I'm going to play the opening cinematic and show you what it's about. Now start the game. I want to be quiet during the cinematic and all the conversations to give you a feel for the overall tone of the game. Yes, that is all fine. And let's dive right into it.
Biomonitor inoperable. Pilot unresponsive. Life support functioning. Basic Mark 7 system access routed to ARID AI. Primary objective: save my pilot. Accessing on-suit logs. Mission parameters and location data not found.
Okay, so how you look around in the environment is with your right click. Go over anything that's got a magnifying glass on it and to give you information.
Threat level unknown. Weapon rendered inoperable from the impact. Consulting parameters. I will locate medical facilities.
And this is how you're going to interact with everything in the world. Absolutely everything. So, speaking of note, as you can already see, very interesting art design. This game was, the developer said he was inspired by, creepy man in the background, inspired by Limbo, Monkey Island, and Super Metroid. not a bad bunch of games to take inspiration from. As you can see with the art style, very Limbo-esque. There's lots of adventuring and some puzzle solving and backtracking and checking out things. So you can interact with anything in the objects, anything in the worlds, and how. Actually, I'll show you something I can actually pick up. There's a bag back here. It's got a wrench in it. Yes, this one here. So this is how you're going to interact with those. You hold shift. While holding shift, left network. You can't do that yet. That is offline. You get that ability in a bit. And then interact. Leave go shift. Interact with it. Picked up a wrench. Now, when I find something to interact with, like this, I now have the option to use the wrench. Won't do much here. You'll be picking up objects and trying to find the right object to fit the right... I suppose you're picking up tools and try and find the right tool that can be used on the right object in the background or in the scene. Point to note about the looking around with the right analog stick. Your mouse can go off screen, as in I'm playing this right now on full screen. I have two screens for my computer. I'm playing this on full screen on just one of them. If you take the mouse off the screen, but you can't really tell you're taking the mouse off the screen because there's no real cursor, it will exit out of the game. This is my third attempt at recording because I've accidentally clicked out of the screen. So if that could be fixed, that would be a really positive. And the other thing about so I'm looking this direction with my gun, trying to examine the environment. Now if I run this direction, I'd assume that when I click the right stick again, I'll be somehow facing where the gun will be facing where I'm facing. However, it's right back where I was. So I would like if maybe add a cursor or just have it automatic that whichever way I'm running, that's where the gun comes out. As opposed to this and then I'm looking... Yeah. So I'm running this way, still there. So that's one thing that would be better, because when you're trying to search around the environment as much as you will be in this game, it'd be great if it would be more fluid. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to solve a particular puzzle and give you an idea. Okay, as you might guess,
I require access to my onboard camouflage. Attempting internal activation.
and here are your operating parameters. This is a cool little part of the game. Space to continue. Okay, restricted. Oh, also another thing, the arrow keys don't do anything. You'd expect in a screen like this the arrow keys would move up and down just out of habit. Instead you gotta use WASD. So I'd like if the option to use both would be nice. These are all little nitpicking things. Restricted, restricted, restricted. Basically these are upgrades that as you progress you will eventually unlock more and more of. Not that much really you can do here. You got the antimatter shielding, you saw that when he was crash landing. I'll show you how to get the network interface in very soon. So, not that much I can do here. Try and access the camouflage. Not going to work.
Subsystem access requires authorization, but I may need these systems to safeguard my pilot. If I could find a way to bypass the lockout, I could override the access protocols myself.
Okay. Now, I need to get... As you can see, I need to find this. So I need to get an object in the environment that will help me get to this. An abandoned security card. I can fit my hand through the bars but still cannot reach it. I will say, take note of everything you are told in these little dialogue boxes. They'll be very handy. If you don't pay attention, you will run around like a headless chicken. Pay very close attention. So I need to find something that could extend my grip. A robotic arm. The gripping mechanism is still operable. It is still attached, so I'm going to need to unattach it using my found micro wrench. Perfect. You can see the inspiration from Monkey Island already. However, if you don't know what you're quite doing, it can lead to just doing this through the environment and clicking and doing this. And then doing this, and then doing this, and then doing this. What I would like to see is if there's certain things in the environment, say for instance, if I hit interact, I cannot. Network interface disables. Robotic arm, this does not work. I would prefer if, when I click shift, if they were maybe grayed out, so I wouldn't have to go to every single thing in the environment and just try and see if anything works with everything. Because I tried robotic arm with this, I tried wrench with this, I tried wrench with that, I tried all these different combinations, and it kind of gets a bit tedious. So if it could be grayed out, so like I can't do that, if it's just grayed out so I would know, it would save a bit of time. So basically, that's fine, because now I got my newly acquired robotic arm. I'll get that security key. Now what on earth would I need a security key for? That's a very good question. Most games, when you step up, if there's space to your right hand side, you'll run right. However, if you, after backtracking all through here, after trying to interact with everything and anything, to figure out what the hell I'm meant to do, it doesn't hold your hand, I will say that. Oh, you can jump also. What is this back here? Didn't even know it existed. Up we go. So yeah, a couple of minor things I'd like to see. Just as you can see, the visual style is beautiful. Oh. And hello, what do we have over here? But again, you wouldn't know what to do these, so I'm playing this through the second time. I know exactly what to do. This will take you quite a while. An adventure game indeed. And this is where the story comes into play and just so interesting.
artificial life form. State your primary function.
You do get choices, so you can just go for acquired data. You know, that'll be nice, that'll be pleasant.
I am the ARID on board this Mark 7 combat suit. My intentions are peaceful. What is your designation?
Mark 7 ARID. State your primary function.
Let's just...
Negative. Reveal your designation and intention.
You are being evaluated for depurposing. State your primary function.
Ooh. You know what? Issue defensive warning.
Do not attempt depurposing. Hostility will result in full defensive engagement.
Irrelevant. State your primary function.
This guy, let me think now. Will we stay primary function? Alright, we'll try and play their game. Listen, this guy who's able to move about up in the catwalks.
My primary function is to assist and protect the human pilot of this armored combat suit.
Human occupant, please verify and validate the function of this artificial life form.
Impossible. He is unresponsive and likely in critical condition. I must find him medical treatment immediately. Can you be of assistance?
Evaluation failed. Unit unable to demonstrate valid primary function. Initializing neural format.
No.
That will kill my pilot.
This is why I like the attention to detail. This is so good. So open up your operating screen by pushing escape. And you'll see I now have a new ability. And now I can network with stuff. So very interesting, really cool way to introduce new upgrades. So yeah, there's a person in here, completely unresponsive. Completely unresponsive. I want to show you one more thing.
Self-evaluation initiated. Pilot exposed to harm while under ARID control. Logging recommendation for ARID diagnostic and reformatting upon return to dock. Edit log. Ultimately, pilot was not harmed and ARID networking suite was brought online. This system may be instrumental to ensuring survival.
Okay, I want to show you one more thing. It does explore themes of... Again, you're an artificial intelligence. You're not really valued. It's the person inside that's valued, and even though it's your artificial intelligence is more like a character and is trying its very best to keep its human occupant alive. Even though everyone else around it treats it as just a thing. So, your new ability to network is very cool because it can lead to exceptional scenes like this. A cloaking pattern is similar to my own. I may be able to network with it.
Cease. Please identify yourself and your intentions. My inputs are inoperable.
I am the ARID on board a Mark 7 combat suit. My intentions are peaceful. Does your pilot require assistance?
The human inside the suit is dead.
Very cool, right? Okay, so we're gonna...
Your design is pilot-centric. How did this human die in your care?
I was granted rudimentary control when my pilot's cranium was compromised. I do not know why she was attacked, or why we were hung here. I failed to protect her. No vital signs detected for 23 minutes. She is dead.
You are irrelevant. I will find a way to get you down. Then I will deactivate you and repurpose your power cell.
Affirmative.
It's just so willing to... Yep. My mission statement is over. Shut me down.
I do not have record of this location, or of my pilot's objective. Our deployment was likely for the same operation. Please disclose your human's mission directive.
State your pilot's clearance.
5th Quadrant Raven Division, clearance level 7, 533172.
Processing. Clearance level not sufficient.
Your design
sorry.
is pilot...
I was granted, or why we were no vitals.
You are... I will find a...
Affirmative.
I encountered a modified droid in some type of evaluation chamber. I am uncertain if its function is hostile or narrowly programmed. Do you know why it interrogated me?
Negative. We were not interrogated.
Have you encountered any organics?
The indigenous flora and fauna are aggressive closer to the surface. The only organic I have encountered here is the animal who took my sidearm.
Yes, speaking of sidearm, I'm gonna go ahead
I
and
will return.
get out of this. Yes, so you will get opportunity to wield a weapon as you go on. Also, it will explore the themes of, I already said before, it will explore a lot more as the game goes on about nobody gives a crap about these artificial intelligence. Melting them down or just disengaging them, shutting them down and scrapping them for other things is what's expected. So it's a really interesting dynamic between the interactions between your character and others around the place. So yeah, again, available, it's available on the 31st of May, not the 30th. It's got 2 different release dates on Steam. Developed and published by Over the Moon. It is called The Fall, inspired by Monkey Island, inspired by Super Metroid, inspired by Limbo. As I said before, a couple of minor things. If your mouse goes outside the screen, you can exit the game, as there's no cursor on the screen to tell you where you're pointing. That can happen more often than it should. As again, also if you're running left, you can look back. And then other than that, yeah, interesting setting, fascinating story, worth a look at. So, thanks for joining me. And we should have a review up of this in hopefully in the next few days to a week. Depends on how crazy things are getting with E3 and all. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.